Hey everybody, Renee here from O'Reilly Auto Parts to show you how to remove and replace the starter on a 2013 Chevy Cruze. Procedures will be similar for most Cruze models from 2011 to 2015, but be sure to know the specifics for your vehicle before getting started. The starter on this vehicle is in a tight spot that's hard to get to, so you'll need an extension for your sockets, and a swivel ratchet or swivel adapter may be useful as well. Once you've got your supplies together, here's what you'll do. Park on a level surface and open the hood. Chock the rear wheels, then use a jack and jack stands to lift and support the front end. Use a 10mm socket and ratchet to loosen and disconnect the negative battery cable. Under the vehicle, you may have a splash guard to remove. Use a trim tool or flathead screwdriver to remove the clips, and an 8mm socket and ratchet to remove the other fasteners. Locate the starter, which will be toward the back of the engine bay under the intake manifold. First, use your 13mm deep socket and extension to loosen and remove the nut securing the starter and alternator positive cable. Once that nut is removed, take the cable off the stud. Next, use a 10mm deep socket and extension to loosen and remove the nut from the starter positive cable and attach that cable. Now use your 13mm deep socket and extension to loosen and remove the nut securing the starter ground cable. Once that nut is removed, take the cable off the stud. Then use the same socket to remove the stud. At this point, there's only one 13mm bolt left holding the starter in place. It's on the top side of the starter, which will be impossible to see. If you want a little more room to work, you can remove the intake manifold brace, but either way, you'll need an extension to reach the bolt. Once you've got your socket on the bolt and you've managed to loosen it, secure the starter with one hand and carefully remove the bolt the rest of the way with your fingers. With the bolt removed, the starter should be free. Lower it carefully out of the vehicle. Then compare it to your new starter to make sure you have the right replacement part. Once you're ready to install your new starter, take note of where the top bolt hole is, since you won't be able to see it with the starter in position, and move your new starter into place. Since the bottom bolt hole is easier to get to, start by threading the bottom stud into place. For the top bolt, use your left hand to guide it and your right hand to thread it using an extension or telescoping magnet. Just make sure the bolt is turning freely and not cross-threading as you start it into the engine. Once those two bolts are installed, use your ratchet and socket to screw them in until they are snug. Then use your torque wrench to tighten them to 18 foot-pounds. Slip the ground cable back onto the bottom stud and thread the nut back onto the stud. Once it's snug, torque that nut to 15 foot-pounds. Reinstall the starter positive cable and secure it by threading the nut into place. Torque that nut to 111 inch-pounds. Reattach the starter and alternator positive cable and thread the nut onto the stud. Torque that nut to 111 inch-pounds. If you removed a splash guard, reinstall it using the fasteners you removed earlier. Back in the engine bay, reconnect the negative battery cable. Lower the front end and remove the wheel chocks. Close the hood. And that's it! You'll find everything you need for this and other jobs at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com. Your local store can also test your starter free of charge if needed, either on or off your vehicle. And if you're not completely comfortable doing this job yourself, we would be happy to recommend a local professional shop or a certified auto repair service center in your area. Be sure to subscribe so you'll see all our new video content. We'll see you again soon.